It's time! It's time! It's JFW time! Alright guys, this is the time we're going to step in the ring with the greatest faction in podcast history. Just Freakin Wrestling, the JFW podcast, hosted by Travesty. And guys, Travesty is alone. Because of the pandemic going on and everything, JFW has been hit pretty hard on getting together to record these shows. Luckily, with the time, the era that we live in with technology, JFW was able to do a live stream podcast with the fans, the wrestlers, and even the chairman of Southland, commissioner of Southland Championship Wrestling. Guys, I went ahead and did a 4-hour-long podcast live stream to kind of sit down and talk about professional wrestling in SCW. So, over the next few weeks, as we kind of fight through the issues that we're having here all across the country, all across the world, with being shut in and secluding ourselves from others. Take the opportunity to listen to this live stream. It is broken down into 3 separate episodes, so you can enjoy them piece by piece. And I will release them throughout the next few weeks here. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you take time to really appreciate some of the conversations I had here, and hopefully we get back together sooner rather than later and bring you the JFW content you guys grew to love. So enjoy the conversations I had, and I will talk to you guys soon. This episode of Just Freakin Wrestling, the JFW podcast, is brought to you by ballwash.com. Now, it's no secret that the man's most prized possession also happens to be the most sensitive part of his body. Balls are prone to sweat, odor-causing bacteria, and irritation. Upgrade your balls game with quality products formulated to keep your skin healthy and fresh. Guys, that is where ballwash.com comes in. Go to ballwash.com right now. Check out the variety of products they have, as well as kits and subscriptions they have available for you. And when you hit that checkout button and you go to pay for that order, make sure you use the promo code FREAKNET, that's FREAKNET, at checkout. It will save you 15% on your entire order. That's right, ballwash.com. When it comes to your sack, they got your back. We'll dive into most of the things I do want to talk about today as we get more people into here. This is new to me. If you guys don't know, I'm Travesty, the host of Just Freakin Wrestling. I host along with Dizzle J and Dally. Unfortunately, Dizzle J and Dally can't be here today due to the pandemic stuff going on. Both of them are considered essential employees, so they do work today. So it's just going to be me. I apologize if it's a little bit boring, if you guys aren't really a big fan of Travesty due to some of the things I may say about Hunter Payne or the fact during the whole ARW SCW feud, I sided more with ARW. But hopefully you guys enjoy the conversation and talk and everything. And just make sure you have headphones on and everything if you're calling in from your phone app or if you're calling in from the computer itself, because there will be an echo on your end if you're not wearing the headphones. So just make sure you have headphones on. If you do decide you want to call in and kind of talk, I have no problem calling anyone in and talking to anyone on the air. And I figured this is a good way for, obviously, with the whole pandemic thing going on, the coronavirus is affecting all independent wrestling across the country. And we're all missing SCW shows. It absolutely sucks that we couldn't go. I believe last week was supposed to be the March show. So this is going to be an opportunity for us to kind of catch up with each other and talk about what we've been going through. Try to stay focused into the wrestling business without, actually being able to do anything about it. But as well as kind of what's everyone up to. And this is my opportunity to kind of learn a little bit about SCW's kind of history. I do know Sentinel's supposed to be here as well, so I'm excited to get him on and kind of talk. I know over the last couple months, he's been booed out of the ring, which has been pretty fucking funny for me. I'm not going to lie. But obviously, everyone gets the opportunity to speak their mind and freely say what they want to say. And we're going to go ahead and do that here today as well. I'm open to having Hunter Payne on if he'd like to talk and say anything. I know he's not a big fan of talking to me, and I get that. Maybe my opinions aren't the most respected, I guess, but whatever. So we do have a few people in here. I see Blaylock's here, both father and son, so that's pretty cool. Nisa is here. I did mention VJ Price. A couple fans, I'm not sure if I really know them. McKenna, Kayla, Coach. If I don't know your names, I do apologize. I don't know everybody, but I'm going to take the opportunity to kind of learn more about everyone who took the opportunity out to come listen to the live podcast. Again, this is new for me, so I apologize if it sounds like it sucks. There's a good chance it will because it's just me. I know most of you guys are fans of Dizzle J and Dally over Travesty. Don't know why, but I get it in some kind of weird, small way. Johnny Wild is here, which I'm really excited to kind of talk Johnny Wild a little bit too, about the whole transition from the previous character to what he is now, and a little bit about the tag team that he formed. So I would love for him to call in. Baynex, I wouldn't mind talking to a little bit, kind of like how his career has been post-retirement and the decision that we all saw a couple months ago with the Sheik joining the Patriots of Hope. So real quick, for those of you who are here, before we dive solely into SCW, how has this pandemic situation, this shut in at home, affected you guys? I mean, like, are you coping with it? Are you getting stir crazy? How have you guys been so far with it this past month now that it seems it's not going to end anytime soon? I do believe they extended it to the end of April. So just a quick, hey, how you guys doing and everything like that would be appreciated. If you guys haven't had a chance yet. Oh, and that's another thing too. It may sound goofy and you guys may hate it. I'm going to plug a lot of the JFW stuff into this because I'm going to release this as a podcast later on, either this month or something like that. So I am going to make sure I plug in like the sponsors we have for the show, the Patreon, the merchandise and stuff like that. So if you guys get bored of hearing me plug stuff, I apologize. It's a business, and that's what I need to do to make mine grow. So, Kayla, I wish I could see your picture better because I'm trying to figure out if I know who you are or not. Are you the one that got awarded the Fan of the Year? Just out of curiosity. If you could answer me that real quick because I'm trying to put faces and names based on the pictures that are showing up here in the little profiles and all that. Because if you are, I would like my award back. I feel that, yeah, you and Patrick, yeah, I want my award back. I don't know how they accidentally gave it to you guys over JFW, but hey, whatever, right? Politics, I guess. Yeah. So, yeah, so hanging and banging. I love it. And Bane, I actually like the fact that even though you are retired, you are staying part of the SCW scene. I know you're a huge hero to a lot of the kids, and it's really cool to still see that. I know a lot of people, like when they do retire, they end up going away and everything, and they just kind of focus on like what they want to do with their life after wrestling. But it's pretty cool that you still stick around and still do what the fans love to see. Even though it's not maybe action in the ring, it's more of just kind of like a behind the scenes and still participating with the fans, like during the intermissions and stuff like that, taking pictures and all that. So that's really awesome to do. But I mean, not being a professional wrestler myself, but being a huge fan of it for over almost 20 years now, I guess you can never really say never when it comes to retirements. I mean, so who knows? Maybe we'll see a Baynex match here in the future. That'd be pretty cool to see. Maybe Banex, Paradox, Iron Sheik, 6-man tag matchup, maybe against Bulletproof LLC, which I hear Bulletproof's supposed to be here as well. And HP, God, I hope that's not Hunter Payne, man. Sticking around for Hunter Payne. Yeah, that's cool though. Yeah. I mean, I guess if you guys are ready and cool, we can kind of dive into some of the SCW. And if you guys do want to take a call in, just message me in the message board and say I want to get on the air, and we'll just kind of go step by step on it, and we'll pull people on, kind of talk about what they've been up to over the last month and anything they kind of feel like they need to get off their chest and express over the podcast. So we'll see how fun this gets. Neeser wants to go in. All right, Neeser. I have no problem taking your call and bringing you onto the show. Like I said, just make sure you have headphones in, whether it be through the app or on the desktop, because there is an echo. If there's an echo and it's bugging me, I'll hang up the call. There's no disrespect to anybody, but the echo is annoying. I've had experience with it before, and so Neeser, if you have your headphones in and stuff, I hate Max Blaylock. I get it. All right, let's see what Neeser's doing here. Let's see here. Neeser.
Checking.
I love it. Thanks for the mic check there, bro. How you doing?
Not too bad. You?
I'm doing good, man. I'm not gonna lie. I just woke up about an hour ago, so I'm like downing coffee and water and stuff just to kind of like get myself up. I definitely didn't go to bed as early as I expected to yesterday, but I actually spent a lot of time on the WWE Network yesterday watching some of the old-time Ruthless Aggression era matches and stuff. I found this thing on Facebook where it listed like some of the best matches, like obviously the first ever Elimination Chamber match where Shawn Michaels won the title. A lot of the matches actually with Shawn Michaels when he came back from his first retirement back in the late 90s. Nice. So I just stayed up and watched that. They just released WWE Untold when Kurt Angle took on Shawn Michaels in their like epic match. I believe it was a WrestleMania. So it was really cool to watch that. So I'm waking up, watching people kind of come in little by little, and just kind of listening to some of the reading some of the messages that come through. And I'm honored, man. I mean, you've been talking for a while now about how you wanted to be on the show and everything, and now you finally got this opportunity to come here and kind of kind of talk about what does SCW mean to you, and how did you become a fan of it? Let's start with that.
SCW means everything to me. Well, other wrestling companies, I've been there, and I get to know some of the other wrestlings, but SCW, it's a lot different. We are a family. No matter what, even through the darkest or brightest of times, we are a family. Even if we butt horns like mountain goats do, we're family. No matter what, we are family. An old friend of mine says we are we may be a brotherhood of secrets because we don't want to show other people what we do, but we're still a brotherhood and a sisterhood, so don't forget that.
Yeah, and it makes sense. You got like the young talent, like you got like JPH, Max Blaylock, James Creed, Jake Andrews. It's like those kids are growing into their own and everything, and you got Hunter, who's kind of there as like that father figure to not only bring that veteran presence to the business, but also like what he does along with like those younger guys. Get him those. And I'm trying to be nice to the majority of this. So if it's shocking to you guys, this does happen once in a while. You see Hunter like have a lot of matches with these younger guys, and some people may see it like, it's kind of like a burial thing, and it's not really a burial thing. I think what it really is like more of getting the best out of the young talent and putting them against the best in the business. And, showing them like, hey, listen, if you can hang with Hunter Payne, then you should be able to hang with anybody. So I get that family concept you guys you're talking about there. But how did you find SCW? Like how did you become part of SCW? Because you do a lot, especially with Patriots of Hope and everything. You're there front row every single show and everything. So how did that all start out?
Whew, I wish I could have help with this memory lane thing, but it served me and a friend watching one at Henco Sportsplex, and I talked to Mike Newman when he was a arena announcer. He's saying he had interest in Special Olympics and all that, and that's basically what I remember so far. I apologize.
Nah, that's fine, man. That's cool. Well, let's talk about a little currently and everything. I know I spent a lot of time at the SCW Wrestling School, kind of watching the training and everything. Not to shoot my own horn, but I was in a wrestling school myself about 10 years ago, so I'll call myself a vet. I don't care. It's a microphone. Who's going to stop me? And
right.
Yeah, right? And I know we talked a lot and everything, and you're talking about how you have a goal here and over the next few years to get in ring-ready shape. So how have you been doing with that?
I've been doing good, and I'm going to shed a little light on why I'm doing this. Baynex, please forgive me. I know this was a secret under the tarp, but I got let out, man. So back in December 21st of 2019, I was going to be it was my birthday, and I was really pumped up. I didn't know what to do for my birthday, so SCW officials decided to let me be a special guest manager, but they didn't say who I was going to manage. So it was going to be Baynex, because me and Baynex, we're cool buds. We know about Special Olympics and everything. So, But as soon as I got home from my aunt's house and I was going to get ready for the show, bang! My medical issues started hitting me, and I had to run to the emergency room just like that. And I'm like, great. Just great.
Yeah.
But
and it happens, man. I mean, like, sometimes situations come up that we can't control, and it's one of those you gotta roll with the punches, So,
yeah, roll the punches.
Yeah.
Some hit you light, some hit you hard. So I looked up in the future calendar that there's gonna be another December 21st Saturday in 2024, and I'm gonna be like, you know what? This might be a beacon of opportunity. If I just do no more BS, no more shenanigans, I'm going to get every and show that Special Olympic gold medalist can hang with the big boys.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that'd be an incredible thing. I mean, Kurt Angle was an Olympic gold medalist too, so I mean, you could be that next generation of gold medalists who steps in the ring and show them what you're capable of.
Yes, he won with a broken neck. I'm going to win with a broken back. You just see.
Yeah, man. I got full confidence that you said 2024, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. I have full confidence that in 2024, when it rolls around, you're going to be in that ring ready to go. Are you looking to go in as a singles match? Do you want to tag up and everything?
Oh.
Because I know that you mentioned a lot about wanting to face Max Holiday.
Yeah, I know.
I remember hearing that.
Oh.
Just to keep in mind, though, Max Holiday beat Hunter Payne. So, I mean, like, do you think you have a chance against Holiday, knowing that even Hunter Payne couldn't get through to him?
My brain says, my heart says, I'm going to show Max Holiday I can do anything, but my brain says if Max Holiday beat Hunter Payne, then there might be a slight chance I might lose.
Well, you never know until you step in the ring. And even if you don't go singles, even if you go tag team, you can always look at a mixed tag match and you could team up with your girlfriend, Paloma.
Oh, Tony. Oh.
Right? Come on now, man. I mean, can you imagine that? Let's kind of fantasy book this real quick. Let's say you and Paloma are a tag team. Who would you guys want to face in the ring? You have an idea? Like, do you have a thought? Like, like do you want to have a mixed tag? Like, who would be across the ring from you and Paloma in a tag team match?
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! I'm going to need help with the next person that comes in the call.
Yeah?
Or someone in the message board. If somebody in the message board or in the call help me with Travis T in this question, please do, because I do not have an idea. Oh Lord.
I mean, I honestly, like, I wouldn't mind seeing, like, maybe you and Paloma taking on, like, let's see, oh geez, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, out of all the wrestlers in the independent business in our area that I've seen since kind of going to the SCW shows, I'm a huge fan of Evo Sierra. I would love to see her back at SCW. I know she kind of took a hiatus away from the business. I'm hoping she finds a way back this way. But I wouldn't mind seeing her like tag up with like maybe like an Arcade Savage and take on Neeser and Paloma Star, or send her up with a I mean, even an Adam Cage. I think Adam Cage would be a good tag team partner for her to take on you and Paloma. I mean, stuff like that would be pretty awesome.
So, a future tag match, me and the roundtable, Paloma Star versus Evil Sierra and Adam Cage. That'd be a good matchup.
Right, absolutely. You put Bulletproof LLC in their corner. You put the Patriots of Hope in your corner. I mean, that's almost main event right there, man.
That'd be an SCW pardon my language, one hell of a main event.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Well, if Sentinel shows up, maybe we could talk to him about that and kind of put that on the books here in about 4.5 years, and make sure he keeps in the back of his head. Now, I don't know if he's going to run SCW in 4 years from now because he barely could run it now, but we'll see where his mindset at is, closer in the future. But what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on Bulletproof? I know they're especially like nowadays between the love and hate for Sentinel, love and hate for Bulletproof. There's a lot of mix in the fans for Bulletproof. But what's your thoughts on Bulletproof? And tell me your thoughts on Sentinel as well. I'd love to hear that.
Well, Bulletproof and I, well, if Baynex remembers about this, then I remember as well. Bulletproof and I, it's this one hate word back to the other. And we kind of had chop exchange, if you know what I mean. What he disrespected the Lunatic in Special Olympics one time, so when they had a show benefiting Special Olympics, I was the representative for the show, and during the Lumberjack and Bulletproof match, I actually got to chop Bulletproof. Oh boy, he got beat red that time.
So you're a little mad with them because they attacked Lunatic and Braun back in the day?
Yep.
Well, let's think about this though, Neeser, and I just want to put this thought into your head. We saw a few months ago when Dynamic Wrestling Alliance came about, and we saw Lunatic turn his back on SCW. So maybe Bulletproof was ahead of the game on making sure that Lunatic wasn't around for a situation like that to happen. So maybe really Bulletproof is the heroes.
Well, on some cases I'll agree, but
just saying, man. I mean, like we got to look at it all both sides, right? I mean, like maybe deep down, Bulletproof is that vigilante kind of group that not only that we need, but maybe the ones we deserve.
Yeah, some worlds do need vigilantes. That I will agree with you on.
Right. I got you, Nisa. Hey, is there anything else that you'd like to say before we end our phone call here? This is your time to shine, man. Anything you want to say?
I gotta think of something quick. Normally, I'm not a good improviser.
Just what would you want the fans to know about Nisa? Like, what do you want people to know? Like, this is me. This is what this is me now. What I'm going for the future. So they just speak your mind, bro.
SCW, this may be me now, but in 2024, after a few matches in the ring, you are looking at the next and future SCW World Heavyweight Champion. Woo!
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous you could woo. I can't woo for the life of me. Don't know why, but I'm a little jealous of that. But
All right.
I appreciate you calling in, man, and you finally got on Just Freakin' Wrestling. I mean, that's an accomplishment in itself.
Yeah, hey, I'm sorry for calling in earlier. I know you were not ignoring me.
Nah, of course, man. I mean, I was ignoring you a little bit, but it was an intentional ignore just so I could get the information out there. But I appreciate you being the first caller into this, and I appreciate you listening. I hope you stick around a little bit. Make sure you are following me on Facebook and you're checking out the YouTube videos and everything. I know it's been a little rocky because of the pandemic. We couldn't get together, but make sure you're following me and let your friends and everyone know to follow us as well.
All right, so yeah, you're right, but
yeah, I know I'm right. It's me, bro. Of course I'm right. Come on now.
I know. So I'm gonna stand my ground like Baynex said, and I will stand my ground. Baynex, you're the best guy ever.
He is. He is a good guy. He's a good guy. All right, Nisa, you take care, man.
Nisa, out.
Yeah, I love Nisa. Good guy. I'm really happy that Paloma had the opportunity to go to that dance with him and everything. I know that took a lot of courage. I mean, that's something a lot of us wouldn't do. And the fact that Nisa stepped up and went for it, awesome. I applaud him. And I hope in 2024 I get to see him in the ring. I would hate to see him against Holiday. I've seen what Holiday's done to people, so geez. But morning to you, Amy. Thank you for being a part of this and everything. I do appreciate that. I know VJ Price was trying to call in. VJ, if you want to try calling in again, you're more than welcome to. If you didn't get a chance to hear what I said before, make sure you have headphones in, and so I don't hear the echo. So, VJ, you there?
The price is here. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can, man. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there like the rest of us, but we're all going to get through this little thingamajig here. Just all be over before we know it. I'll just say, as a people, is there ever anything in history we didn't get through?
That's right, man. When we stand together, we can accomplish anything, and that's the best way to look at it. VJ, I'm actually glad you called, man. Because I do want to take the opportunity to talk to not only some of the veterans of the business, but a lot of these up and comers, these guys from the SCW school itself. And one of the things I want to kind of ask you is, you've had a couple of debut matches, and I know that you were in some battle royals and stuff like that, but I want to focus solely on the single matches you had. How does it feel to actually be in the ring one-on-one? I mean, that's got to be a great feeling, right?
Man, it is an awesome feeling. The price, I want to tell you, it's a bit weird with the price when it comes to being nervous before getting in the ring. It's like I'm behind the curtain. I'm nervous. The anxiety's at an all-time high. Yeah. Then my music hits. Then I walk through the curtain, and all of it just goes away. Now I'm the price. It's VJ Price now. You're seeing VJ Price. I get in the ring. It's like something I've always wanted to do in my life, and It's just awesome just to get the chance to even be able to do it. Because truthfully, where I've come from, I thought I would never be able to step in the ring.
I got you. Well, and I know when you first came out and you cut that promo, talking about your journey through weight loss and everything, getting to where you are. I too struggle with weight my whole life, and I try to do my best to overcome that and become a better person for it. But there's a lot of setbacks and a lot of moments where I find myself falling. The fact that you're able to keep pushing forward, it's inspiring as hell, man.
Thank you.
So congrats to you on that. But Like what motivated you to push forward and to achieve that goal? And and second question, how did you find SCW? Like a 2-part question there.
You know what? The weight loss and SCW go hand in hand with me. I'm going to tell you, one morning in April 2017, I was 500. I was 500 pounds. One morning I just woke up and I just said, enough of this. I've had enough. I was tired of waking up tired. I was tired of all these new medical ailments. I was tired of, having to always watch what I eat. Well, I still watch what I eat, but always having to be super careful with what I eat. Yeah. Tired of all the blood tests, tired of having to go to the hospital, tired of the aches and pains. And so I just decided, enough of this. Starting right now, I'm going to stop eating all this bad stuff. I'm going to stop drinking so much pop. And not too much longer later, I started searching for a wrestling school because I have been searching for one for a very long time, but I couldn't find one in the area.
Yeah.
And not too much longer later, I came past a Facebook group and I noticed Bane X was a member. And that's pretty much how I found out about SCW. Basically, I told myself if I could lose so much weight that I would enroll in the school.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did. I exceeded my own expectation. As of now, I've lost over 225 pounds.
Dude, that's awesome, man. That's really cool.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It's a big relief. It's a huge relief. What was I saying? But but I exceeded my own expectation with that. And basically, one day I just went up to Genesis MMA in Bradley, signed up. I've been going ever since, off and on ever since.
That's good, man. Yeah, and at my heaviest, I was at 445. And the thing that sucked is, like, for me, I know how I got that big, and a lot of it had to do with like depression and like just not feeling like having no value to myself, just giving up and just shoveling food after, constantly without even thinking about it. And there was just one day where it just kind of clicked, Now, luckily, I'm going to thank God for this. I never had to struggle with any kind of medical issues other than obesity, cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure. I had none of that. And honestly, I don't know how I never had any of that. But I put myself on a keto diet. It worked for me. It doesn't work for a lot of people, but it worked for me. I got down to about 370, and now I'm kind of floating around that. Thanks. I float around that 370 to 375 area. And I know I could keep going forward. It's just for some reason, with everything going on, and not even just the pandemic, but more of like everything going on in my personal life, not to get too far away from wrestling here for a minute, but, it takes a toll on you, and it's these moments that show you how strong you are. And it's really cool that, you're doing this, and, it's cool that, you mentioned Bane X. I mean, like, it seems like he has his hand in a lot of these young guys, and not only just the wrestlers like you, but again, Neeser, we talked about earlier. So, awesome guy. Is there maybe like a point where you feel like you hope Bane X comes out of retirement and maybe have a match with the guy who got you into the business?
Oh, definitely, man. That's something I would definitely love to happen, and the price will put him down just like he'll put down everyone else.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, you're not really a big fan of the SCW like fans, I guess. You kind of go out there and let them know that you're better than them.
It is what it is. The price is the price. The price is always going to be the price. Not that I necessarily don't like them. I just feel sorry for them.
Right. I get it. It makes sense. You're up there talking about your achievements, and I'm sitting there eating nachos, man. So I don't blame you one bit, but that's pretty cool.
It's like, yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm listening, man. Please.
I was going to say, you mentioned you're eating nachos. To me, that's like eating some nachos in front of a mirror in your underwear.
I know. Oh my God, nachos, man.
Those nachos and cheese and meat are great.
Oh yeah, nacho. And I have kind of obviously with Dally being an employee of SCW, but also being a host of JFW, I kind of have like an inside to getting like a little extra cheese and stuff. So it's really cool to have that opportunity. What's the overall goal? I mean, obviously, right now we're quarantined and we're not allowed to have independent shows nowadays. But what's the 2020 goal for VJ Price?
Personally, a lot of things have been happening for the price. Personally, along with work, a lot of goals have been met in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Going to keep all those going for as far as wrestling goes. Really hit training hard once all this is over with. I'll admit part of my fault is that I let life stop me from making it to training half the time. I know I shouldn't do that, but when this is all over with, hit training as hard as I can, and get as good as I can, as quick as I can, because truly, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do this.
Oh, don't say that, man. Be positive.
Well, there's something I don't want to go into, but a little aspect of it,
Mm-hmm.
But you're not such a bad guy. I always thought you were kind of Weisenheimer. You're not such a bad guy.
Yeah, well, no, that's probably because people don't really know the real travesty. They just want to hear what they want to hear, just because I say certain things about certain wrestlers and stuff like that, and just because I'm a huge fan of the 3-time SCW heavyweight champion Max Holiday. But whatever. Well, no, I'm a good person. I'm a great guy, man.
But also, I can see why he doesn't like talking to you. You have a big mouth.
Yeah, well, that's on him. He needs just to grow up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. See, I'll talk when I'm back here, but hey, whatever, man. That's the glory of having your own podcast and being secluded. I mean, I'd love to talk to him face to face, but God, unfortunately, the government says we can't. Darn.
Yeah, it's messing up quite a few things with the price. I mean, everyone else. I mean, truly, the whole scary part about this is that we don't know what implications this is going to have on all of us.
Mm-hmm. I got Steve in the message board saying that you're still feeling the ass kicking from Austin Roberts. Any response to that?
Give me a few months, get Austin Roberts back in the ring. I'll give him a price drop he'll never forget.
And Bane X also responded with VJ might be writing a check his ass can't catch. Cash. Any response to that?
Hey, the price is money, and there's plenty of money in the bank, baby.
I get it. Price, you're going to be one of my favorite wrestlers up and coming. I could just feel it, man.
Oh, definitely. The Price is going to be everyone's favorite wrestler.
Gotcha. Anything else you want to say before we say our goodbyes here?
All things aside, I gotta speak personally to everybody. I know this is a hard time for many of you, and I'm praying for everyone to get through this. I just want to leave you with a little bit of a quote. There's always that light at the end of the tunnel, but you have to light it up yourself.
That's beautiful, man. I like that. Hey, thanks for coming on here and talking with me, man. I do appreciate it. And hopefully when this all gets past us and we're able to get together again, maybe I can come up to the school and, do some more interviews and promos and stuff face to face, because I love doing that. We've done it a couple of times for the shows. So hopefully this all passes as quick as possible, and maybe we can all get together and kind of have a longer, in-depth conversation about the career and stuff of VJ Price.
Indeed.
All right, brother. You have a good day and take care.
You too. Take care, man.
Bye. I'm not gonna lie. There's more to VJ than I thought. I thought that he kind of just came out and thought he was better than everyone, and obviously that. That's what it is. But at least he's kind of nice about it. Did he read that from a greeting card? Sarge Brooks, man, I haven't seen you in probably forever. Where have you been? Because you haven't been to a show, and if you have, you kind of been hiding in the background. Doris, I have no problem bringing Steve Doris on if Steve Doris is ready to come on and talk to me. I have no problem with that. I'm a little concerned that Sentinel hasn't shown up yet, being that I'm doing this for his business. But hey, if he decides he wants to show up, he's more than welcome to. If not, it's on him. But yeah, Steve, if you're ready, man, you you're more than welcome to come on the show if you are ready. Anyone, like I said, anybody who wants to come on and talk, you're more than welcome to. Just like I mentioned several times, make sure you have headphones on so there is no echo. Also, I found out that this live podcast thing has sound effects I could use. I may use them. I'm not sure. I guess we'll see if there's a moment that comes around. Give me some time. Steve, you have all the time in the world up until 2 p.m. because this is a 4-hour-long show. I'm going to keep this going until 2 o'clock because, like I said, some people are coming and going, and I'm more than happy to stick around here as long as there's people here willing to participate and everything. Outlaw 4 hours. I have coffee, water. I got flavored water. I am here for the long haul. I mean, there may be a certain time where I may intermission it, play a quick song, and go take a leak. But we'll see. We'll see how much coffee I get into me within the next 4 hours here. But anyone else who's out there who wants to take a call in, you're more than welcome to. Other than that, anyone have any questions about SCW? I see we do have Bane X here. I believe Hunter Payne is lurking around here somewhere. We do have some of the other wrestlers here. If you guys have any questions, and feel free to throw them up on the message board, and as long as I catch them, I'll ask them. So, wash your hands after. That's awesome. He doesn't want Sergeant Brooks. God. I gotta say though, Sarge, thanks for I know you're videoing one of the shows a few months back, and you gave a lot of screen time to JFW, and I do appreciate that. Where's Hunter at? Why isn't Hunter saying anything? I would love to kind of hear his response and answers and stuff. Like where is Hunter Payne at? I mean, I know it might be difficult to see the buttons to type some stuff in, but I mean, just give me something, brother. Is that a little too much? My bad. But guys, so I came around SCW. I believe it was April or June of 2017. I want to say it was more April because I don't believe SCW does shows in June. So I wasn't around before SCW became SCW. I know it was called something else, and for the life of me, I can't think of the name of it. If you guys know, please tell me the name of what Southland Championship Wrestling was before Southland Championship Wrestling, and just your experiences with the business before SCW. CSW. Okay, what was CSW like? Is SCW different? Is it basically the same thing? What is the feel about the business nowadays compared to what it was back then? I was around a couple wrestling businesses growing up. My cousin owned Elite Pro Wrestling. He wrestled in Lunatic Wrestling Federation. I was around, it was Ian Rotten's company. I went to a couple shows there when they did a cross-brand thing with Elite Pro. So I've seen a lot back behind the scenes kind of stuff with a lot of independent wrestling businesses, and obviously a lot of them are different. Some are a little more intense. Some of them are a little more laid back. But if Hunter would love to answer that question, I'd love to hear it. I just, like I said, the history of wrestling has always fascinated me. And it's not even so much of the NWA, AWA, OW, CCW, WWF, and stuff like that. But even the independent history, I'm a huge fan of. I remember watching New Breed Wrestling Alliance down in, was it Buckley? I think it was. I remember watching some shows up north. So the history of independent wrestling always fascinates me too. CSW is one I've never seen. So yeah, call in, Hunter. I'd love to hear from you. Not that I love more than to hear your mouth right next to the speaker screaming into it because you're not quite sure how the technology works, but I get it. Oh God, I think this is Sentinel. We'll find out. Hello.
Yeah, what do you mean you think it's the Sentinel? Of course it's the Sentinel. You didn't think I'd find you? I was supposed to get an alert about this conversation, and nobody decided to give me a connection. I had to find you. I had to seek you out. What's going on here on this rinky-dink show of yours? Wasn't I personally invited a couple days ago?
You were personally invited to the 10 a.m. start of the podcast live. I mean, 10 a.m.
Yeah,
is 10
and suddenly, when it's actually game time, I don't get the alert that I was supposed to get.
I would take responsibility for that, but I mean, I was really kind of busy.
Maybe you don't know how to use technology. You're talking about Hunter Payne not being able to use technology. Maybe you don't know how to do your own show.
Hey, speaking of own shows, hey, do you remember this?
Oh my gosh. Who are you trying to do? A man cow impersonation? Okay, please. I thought this was
Okay, I'm sorry.
one more time, and I won't give you any more of my time.
No, okay.
You're right. You're not going to disrespect me. I'm offering you my time. I'm a busy man. Being the commissioner of the greatest independent fed ever created is a difficult job, but I'm up to the task. But I'm not going to waste my time talking with the likes of you.
Okay, well,
if you're going to do things like that.
You're right. I won't do it anymore.
Now, do you have any questions for me that I personally offered for my fans to be able to hear? All my fans deserve to hear me. Stop pressing your buttons.
Gotcha. I'm going to ask you questions, and yes, no more button pressing, because I do have some questions for you. And while I have you on, if anyone on the message board has any questions for Sentinel, you're more than welcome to put them through, and we could ask them as well. The biggest question I do have, obviously, canceling an SCW show had to be a hard decision to make, but it was a decision that needed to be made. What went into that process of having to cancel the show? I mean, like, where was the final decision made at that point?
Well, it's very simple. These are trying times for everyone. And I want everyone to know that people used to think, until I proved it right now, that I was a puppet leader, a paper leader, whatever. And I think by initiating my COVID-19 protocol for the safety of our organization and our fans, I don't think anybody should have anything to say to me about that. I think I acted exactly as I was supposed to.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't think anyone would argue that. I mean, like, I know when this all started out, and obviously we saw ARW canceling a couple shows in March and everything, there was a lot of worry that SCW would have to do the same. Now, this whole mindset I had with SCW still putting on the show was at the very beginning of March, where, it's like, hey, things are shutting down, but maybe by then it will be okay. And then obviously I think it was about halfway through the second week of March where the decision was made that the show is going to have to be canceled. And it's not at your choice, but the choice of the state to have to shut down these mass get-togethers. Sorry. But I know that has to be tough. As of right now, the mass shutdown is going through April, so I don't know, like, if there's a decision made on April or not as well. And I don't want to get into that because I don't want to jinx it in any way. Let's pray that COVID-19 passes sooner rather than later. But to get all past that, one question I do have for you personally is you've been booed a couple of times out of the ring over the last few shows. Now, how have you been feeling about that? Because you don't seem to take it pretty well. And I mean, are the fans getting to you in the kind of sense?
Wait. You don't need to go. First of all, What do you mean by I don't seem to take it pretty well? Those are your words. What do you mean by that? I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused as the way a person is supposed to react when they get booed. When you get booed, do you go, hey, thank you? And do you give people hugs and kisses and thank them for booing you? Or do you get mad? What's the proper reaction? If you get cheered, you're happy, and if you get booed, you're mad.
Well, it's not so much,
So why would my reaction be strange to you, or why is that a question? I'm a little confused at your point here.
I know. Well, let me detail the question a little bit more. You get booed and you just leave the ring. Now, this seems like there are announcements that you want to make, but because of the boos that come from the fans, you allow them to get into your head and you walk away like almost like in like a huff. Now, I get that being booed is a
buddy,
good thing.
There is absolutely nothing in my head. Do you understand me? Not one thing.
I believe there's nothing in your head.
Keep that perfectly clear.
I believe it's totally empty up there.
What? Listen, I don't need this from you. You want answers? I'm here to give you answers, but you got to answer. You got to ask pertinent questions.
Okay, here's a question for you. I got a good question for you. You did have a moment where you were an in-ring competitor and you teamed up with Patriots of Hope. What's your thoughts on Patriots of Hope inviting the Sheik into their group? Now, I mean, there's been a lot of history and issues with Unholy Alliance and Patriots of Hope and all that stuff, but now it kind of seems like that is all past. But wasn't there kind of a grudge with you and the Sheik back in the day, and now he's teaming up with friends of yours? Like, does that bother you in any way, or is that just how the business works?
I am one thing. I am very glad you brought that up.
Thank
because
you.
I think that is a hallmark of my ability as a commissioner to bring my organization together. So that is a symbolic movement that I am 100% in favor of. And to be honest with you, when I beat the Sheik basically into submission and I put him in his place in a physical sense, that was the first step. And then over time, slowly, rather than let evil take hold, myself and the Patriots and others decided to bring someone with maybe a little different view, maybe a little different worldview, and maybe bring his organization into our fold in a different way. And I don't think anybody could look at that as a bad thing.
No, I thought it was a pretty cool moment because I mean feuds come and go and everything, and sometimes the most surprising people could end up together. I mean, obviously, look at Paradox. Paradox was once part of the Unholy Alliance and now became Patriots of Hope. I don't recall seeing Paradox in a while. Like, is there any response on where he has been and how come he hasn't been seen in SCW for some time?
Well, I can tell you this.
Okay.
Paradox is a man of many mysteries. Hence his name, Paradox.
That's true.
Okay? And he hails from parts unknown. We understand this. And let's put it this way. Until I hear differently, until I know differently what his intentions are, Paradox always has a place in our organization. And he has other things to tend to. There is a life outside. Some people may not understand this. I certainly do. Some people lead specific lives that they do other great things for society that we'll never know about. That Paradox doesn't want accolades for. He doesn't want cheering. He doesn't need it. He gets things done in the world, in the ring and out of the ring. Is that a clear enough answer for you?
Yeah, no, you cleared it up well. I understand that. There's moments in life where you have to do more than what is seen in front of the camera, and I get that. Another follow-up question for me personally. If you notice here, we have Kayla, who's a wife of Patrick. They're fans of SCW.
Super fans, award-winning super fans.
That's kind of my question. Now, Patrick isn't a fan of yours, but yet you gave him the award over JFW. And I want to know why. Why is JFW not the fan of the year?
Let me put it this way. Once again, you bring me to my point and proof that I am the Supreme Commissioner and that I deserve the accolades rather than the boos of all our fans. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Because I look past someone who I know is true of heart, who may be clouded by other people's rants and raves and their sneaky little lies. I know Patrick's heart. I know Kayla's heart. And guess what? They're good people. Mm-hmm. They may have been misled, and I am willing to bring them back into the fold, just like I did with the Sheik. I have the abilities to play a long game and not a knee-jerk reaction. Say, oh, you're booing me, Patrick? Forget you. I don't forget any of the true loyal fans to SCW.
Well, if you want to talk about loyal fans, what about Steve?
Yeah, what about Steve?
Well, Steve just happened to mention on the message board that he was the first winner of that award. Steve happens to show up at every show, and you don't seem to really get along with him. I mean, it almost looks like you kind of lose hope on Superfan Steve there.
Before Steve's heart was darkened, before he became bitter, before the seeds of deceit of the Keist organization and Bulletproof LLC, before the vines wrapped around his mind and sucked him into their world, he was a super fan. And his may be the greatest fall and the greatest tragedy of all. And I will admit one thing. As powerful as I am, I don't know if I have the ability to bring him back. I will never stop trying. I may give him hard medicine at times. I may give him praise and try to bring him back at times if he does something good. But to be honest with you, it might be an eternal struggle that may never resolve. I can only hope, and I will never give up hope.
Gotcha. Do you ever feel that maybe you can find some kind of resolution with Bulletproof? I mean, if you're trying to win people back, is Bulletproof somebody you could potentially win back and get on your side?
Listen, I send out a hailing frequency, okay? I tell people, I send out a beacon, if you will, of positivity, wholesomeness, goodness, and pride. And guess what? We are proud at SCW. All I can do is lay that flag out there. If people like Bulletproof LLC don't want to heed that flag, if they don't want to come to us and join in goodness, there's nothing I can do. Once again, I'm always trying. I want everyone to be powerful, loyal, respectful competitors in the ring. But some of them will always be blinded by greed, lust, and ambition, if you will.
Okay.
And not the good ambition. I'm talking about always seeking to undermine others and step on others to get ahead, rather than just do good work and get ahead on their own.
I got you. How do you feel about the locker room being headed by probably one of the greatest wrestlers in the independent area, and that's 3-time heavyweight SCW champion Max Holiday? I mean, there's got to be some kind of pride in SCW knowing that there's that kind of guy who's running the show, the flag bearer, if you will.
Well, he's not. He's absolutely not running the show.
Okay, he's the main event.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean running the show?
Like he's taken the flag and he's leading SCW. I mean, he's the main guy. He's the guy.
I don't understand what you're saying. Are you maybe twisting around that I saw for our organization some talent, and I saw the possibility? I'm not saying it's there. The possibility that someone might be deserving of coming to us. Okay, and I got him in, and I made him work for it. Through a broken foot, through injuries, through a gauntlet, if you will, of competition to make it where he is. And I built him what he is, but he is not taken over. He doesn't carry any flags. He's not the leader of the locker room. Well, I mean, he's a solid competitor that the Sentinel brought in for the good of our organization and for our fans and for the other wrestlers in our stable to have competition. I saw it. I went out and I got it.
Now, when exactly did you find him to be the competitor you wanted for SCW? Was it the first time he won the title in 8 seconds against your champion?
Okay, whoa. You know, you're kind of bringing up, you're trying to slip little things in there, little digs. Okay, and I'm the Sentinel. Okay, guess what? I can sense all those things, and I spot them and I'll call them right out. Okay. So let's not bring up 8-second win, things like that. Let's think of the months that I did outside our organization when people thought, what's he doing? What's going on? Where's the Sentinel? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You remember that?
Yeah. You're gone.
And now the seeds that I've planted are bearing fruit. And I went out and I scouted them for months. And I asked a lot of other people and I checked a lot of other people. Some weren't worthy. Some were. I got you. And now they're either stabilized with us or without.
Yeah, not to cut you off, but I do happen to have Bulletproof wanting to call in. Are you willing to talk with them?
Bring them on. I don't know what they could have to say, but go ahead.
Right. Bulletproof, if you're there, you're more than welcome to call in. As I mentioned, make sure you have headphones on so there's no echo. And let's see where this goes. Bulletproof, are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're on with me and the Sentinel.
Yeah. I've been listening to this garbage for coming out of the Sentinel's mouth for 10 minutes now he's been rambling on? I can't take it anymore.
Garbage? Get the microphone out of your mouth. Garbles.
Garble.
Well, there's no secret that there is issues between Sentinel and Bulletproof. We talked about that a little bit earlier here in the conversation. But Bulletproof, now that you're on, do you have any questions for the Sentinel that maybe have never been answered or you would like kind of answers to?
I don't think we ever had resolution with the ARW incident, which we know he was completely behind. A hostile takeover of SCW while he was trying to promote that.
That started way before I ever even became president.
Yeah, but you're.
Well, so
but
how did I start
you're the
that?
one that
How did I
led
start
this. How did you start that? Probably underhanded dealings like you do everything else. At least when Bulletproof is doing business, we are very upfront about the business that we do, the people we associate with. You, on the other hand, the reason why you're getting
people you associate with.
Shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Sentinel, the reason you get booed when you come out now is because no one trusts you. And you can tell because of how defensive that you get. If there was ever a visible lie detector test, it's you walking in front of a crowd of people. People see that you're full of garbage and full of crap, man. So
full of garbage and full of crap. They forced me to become a commissioner rather than a president. They forced me to take executive action because of your dealings, because of the way things were going and getting out of hand. I had to take 100% control of the organization. I had no choice. I didn't want it. I didn't want the burden.
Okay, but since you've taken over, you use your own personal agenda to move things along, and you've connected with other organizations to try to and you know what? Anyone else in SCW wants to believe whatever they want to believe, but it's obvious to the fans that you tried to sabotage SCW. Bulletproof?
By bringing in more talent, by challenging people. Are you afraid of challenges? Do you just want to cakewalk with everything you do, Anderson?
I've wrestled everyone on the roster and everyone that you've brought in. You can't tell me that I've ducked to anybody. And if anybody is on this chat or anybody that's on this line wants to say that I've tried to duck somebody, I've gone head first. And even if that means getting my tail kicked, I've taken it and I come back the next month and showing yourself in hotel rooms, taking bubble baths and things while we're trying to put on a great show for the fans and you're MIA somewhere in the world. You got any explanation for that? What's wrong with a bubble bath?
Yeah, what's wrong with the bubble bath? When you
sound like you need a bubble bath. Your blood pressure.
You do the job. You take the bubble bath after the job is complete.
Whew. I hope that you stocked up on decaf coffee. Before this whole thing went down.
Are you gonna let this guy run your show, or are you gonna ask pertinent questions, or are you just gonna let Bulletproof run all over his microphone?
This is what people wanted, though. People wanted to have that interaction between Bulletproof and Sentinel, and I'm just giving them the opportunity for that.
So there's no mediation. There's no nothing. You just want to hear me. You just want to hear me shoot down every point that he tries to make. Fine. I could do this all day. Doesn't matter to me.
Well, I don't want to do all day because I do want to get other people on and everything. But no, I mean, I have no problem being a mediator if you feel you need one. But the biggest thing is like people.
No, I don't feel I need one. I'm trying to help you. Okay. All right. And you want to have other people on? All right. You want to have other people on? I had to call you. So obviously you didn't want me on, period. But I found you and I got to say my piece.
That's how this works. It's a call in and you call in. What don't you understand about that?
When it started up at 10 a.m., one of the first things I happened to mention was
I was allegedly invited as an esteemed guest, and I was begged to come on the show. But suddenly, when the show started, no one was around to tell me that it had started.
No, I invited over 70 people to this, man. I get to, you want to feel esteemed. That's all well and good. I definitely want you here, but I also want Hunter Payne.
Well, it sure doesn't seem like it, Al.
Hey, you're on the show, man. I could have ignored the call, but I needed you on here because I need people to get the answers from you that you have been dodging.
Well, then ask the questions. I haven't dodged one thing. I need to get Anderson off the phone so you can interview me like I deserve. I need the respect that I deserve, that I've earned.
I mean, it'd be rude for me to hang up on him. I mean, he came on after you. If anything, I would love for him to be here and kind of get like a rebuttal from his side too.
Okay, well then go ahead. Say something.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. So Bulletproof. I got a quick question for you. Why do you think most of the SCW fans would rather have Keist over Sentinel?
Wait, whoa. What do you mean most of the SCW? How do you know that? State your sources.
Well, they're booing you, Sentinel.
Did you take a poll? Did you get affidavits signed by them? How do you know that the majority of people want Keist?
I mean, I guess we could take a poll on the message board. If you guys want, go ahead and put in Keist or Sentinel.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I don't care.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not afraid.
To get back to the question that I was
wait, are they really going to? Are they going to do it right now? Are they?
Yeah. Amy, I believe, wants Keist. Sergeant
okay, all right. Wait, no,
Keist.
we don't need to announce it. We got other things. We're not going to announce that right now. Let's just keep talking. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks.
Do I get to answer the question now?
Could you please answer it?
Are you going to keep interrupting me, Sentinel? Listen, the reason why people like Keist, he's a business guy, and people want to say whatever they want in terms of his actions as far as his managerial duties go. But as a businessman, that's what you want as your president. You want somebody who's going to make executive decisions that are going to benefit the organization of SCW. And that also means, you know what, Sentinel, I'll give you your due. You've brought in some good athletes. You've brought in some good talent. But at the same time, have you been able to maintain bringing those talents back the following month? There's been a handful of like 6 or 7 guys that I've seen one time, and I've never seen them again. Now, is that because of your...
Can I speak now?
No.
Can I speak now?
No, because you're a poor businessman.
You asked a question. Well, I can't speak because I'm a poor businessman in your opinion. You asked a question, but you won't take the answer.
Okay, I'm giving you a moment now. Let's go ahead and respond to that.
Yeah. People get a shot with me. And if they don't live up to their expectations, they're gone. End of story. And if I decide to give them a second chance, they get a second chance. Other than that, if you see someone for a month, if they don't perform, bye-bye. Question answered. Done. Business decision. Over.
That's what your wife said.
All right.
I have no idea what that is even supposed to mean.
I do have another question, too. Justifiable question. It's actually been a question that's been brought up for months now. Why isn't Bulletproof represented on the SCW flyers and posters and stuff that go out for the shows when they're advertised?
That's a great question. Wow. Boy, I'm glad you brought that up, Travis.
Thanks.
We say that every month. It's almost like a joke at Bulletproof LLC now. And it's not because I've worked with the marketing department and sending them the proper pictures that they needed. We've done actually 3 or 4 photo shoots in the past year and a half. Between actually myself, Doug, and Adam, we did group photos, we did single shots, we did everything. But it's the same 8 people on every flyer, including that jackass Sentinel.
Okay, he asked the question why you weren't on there. He didn't care about how many promo pics you guys take. Okay.
Well,
I also have a couple of special pics that I took for your wife.
Well, all right. That's it. You crossed the line, Anderson.
Oh, yeah? What are you going to do about it?
Oh, don't worry. When this whole tragedy is over, when this nationwide, worldwide tragedy is over, you just dug yourself a hole, pal. Believe me. That was it. Right there, right here for everybody to hear. You said it, and you can just wait because I'll tell you one thing, pal. The dish of revenge is best served cold.
Well, the biggest tragedy over the last year and a half has been you being president of SCW.
Sentinel,
don't worry, I'm no longer president. I'm the commissioner.
Well, do you mind answering the question that I asked?
Yeah, I wanted to a while back before he spouted off and started bringing my wife. We're bringing family members into this thing now.
I know, but could you answer the question?
So, is that on the record? Do you acknowledge that he brought my wife into it?
I acknowledge that he took a shot at you, and
no. Do you acknowledge that he brought my wife into the conversation?
I said I acknowledged it.
Dead silence.
What dead silence? I told you I acknowledge it.
You do acknowledge. Well, nah. You said, "Oh, I see you tried to take a shot." I had to press you.
I acknowledge he took a shot at you against your wife, and I get it. Hey,
you get it? So you wait a minute. You get it? You condone it? What are you trying to say? What kind of show is this?
It's a show where people can say what they want to say. That's what the kind of show this is.
So his only reaction is to press another button. Okay, so now, let me connect the dots for everybody. Let me connect the dots for everybody. Everybody wants Keast, who is propped up by Bulletproof LLC, who specifically wants to target people's wives for his demented, strange dealings. Now that we have everything, if that's who people want as their president, they can have him. End of story.
Hey, Samuel, can I ask you a question real quick?
I don't know. Can you?
May I ask you a question real quick?
Go ahead.
Why isn't Bulletproof on the flyers or advertisements for the monthly shows?
There is only so much. How big do you think a flyer is?
I mean,
okay, you saw the size. There is only so much room. I have to give it to superstars. I have to give it to people who are worthy of it. You have to earn your place on a flyer. It's obvious. Came out of Anderson's mouth himself. He's gotten his ass kicked too many times to be deserving of being on a flyer. How is that so hard to compute? He doesn't deserve it. He gets his ass kicked when he's in the ring, and I don't have room for losers on the flyer. Is that crystal clear?
It's not very clear because I mean you find them good enough to be on the show. You find them good enough to give them a spot on the card. You know that they have fans that show up to this show. You know that they do what they can.
Thank you for making my point. Just like the clever ruse that they try to pull about me being the cause of the ARW situation. There are legal contracts that I've been trying to get out of for over a year now, caused by Doug Keast. And I've been wrapped up trying to keep our coffers full and not wasting money on legal garbage. So what am I forced to do? I'm forced to let these people wrestle by contracts that Keast put in place a long time ago, and I'm still cleaning up Keast's mess. But people seem to want him back.
Hey, just so you know, I've been wrestling for SCW, and when it was CSW Southland, I've been with them for almost 6 years. I'm probably one of the longest tenured wrestlers on the roster. I find it highly disrespectful, and when we talk about people that turn their backs on SCW, the people that everyone rallied behind, Braun the Lumberjack, who I fought in a hardcore match where the fans brought the weapons. The lunatic who turned his back on SCW. What? Yeah, that's what happened. A number of other people. Where's Ivan Manson been? Huh? I'm just saying, I've been here for 6 years. 6 years. Way before your cup of coffee, pal. So know your role. Shut your mouth.
You know what? So maybe you
do what's right. Point. Commissioner, president, whatever you want to call yourself. You're an underhanded businessman with shady dealings, and you drive everybody away. Either that, or you drive people to just turn on the organization in general, and that's why the fans crap on you.
Thank you very much. You just proved my point. After 6 years, you've still gone nowhere. You still haven't deserved to be on the flyer. Maybe you're getting stale. Maybe it's time for you and your organization to just move on. If after 6 years you can't rise to the top, thank you for making my point.
Well, why don't you give them the opportunity to see what they're made of in title matches? Or
because he can't even win. Because he can't even win a regular match. I have to put his people in dark matches. They're so bad, and they can barely get past them. So what do you want from me? I'm not going to hand people title matches. Okay, you're embarrassing yourself now. As you're supposed to be an alleged wrestling fan. If I would have just give him a title shot out of the blue, how do you think you'd be sacking me that fast over that? So don't start with that kind of stuff. You're clearly biased against me, and I think we better move on.
I'm not biased against you whatsoever. I have you on the show, man. In fact, I think it was like summer of last year. I was all in support of you. I had you and Steve on the show. And I said that you were doing a good job until you started belittling my podcast. So I was like, come on, man. And then you sit here and you think that I don't have respect for you.
Belittle it. I promoted your podcast. I know it's a rinky-dink little podcast with poor quality. It doesn't bother me. Wow. I still promote it at the show. What? What are you saying?
You told me, how do you describe a podcast like that, but you say you promote it?
I mentioned you at the show while I'm in the ring with the microphone. How else am I going to promote it? What else do you want?
You can talk positive about it because it's the greatest podcast in the Midwest area.
No, I'm not. I listen, okay? As far as I know, I'm not a paid endorser. I'm a real person. So I give my honest, real opinions to people.
Real person's kind of a stretch. Real person's kind of a stretch.
How is that a stretch? I've never been more honest than in my life about things than I am about this right now.
Fake
I
news,
live and die SCW. What?
Steve Dorsey is there.
Fake news, fake people. I'm here.
Oh, Superfan Steve is here.
Well, okay, let's all just start trying to talk over everybody now. You're really going to have three people on at the same time?
Hey, actually, you know what, Steve? Out of respect for you, I'm going to give you the floor. Well, I'll come back later.
Sir.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah. Turn your tail and run, Anderson. Yeah. After that comment, don't. I won't forget, pal.
Now I'm going to let Steve talk here in a minute. But before we do that, I just want to go back to what we were talking about before. And yes, you do promote my podcast at the shows, and I do appreciate that. But as far as calling yourself a paid endorser, it's like I promote SCW every single week on my show, and I don't ask for a dime, man. I mean, I thought
you do.
There was a mutual.
That's your business. That's your business. And guess what? Guess what? You take as much as you give. You don't just promote it and say great things about it. You tell it like it is, don't you?
I love SCW. And I've said that. Even when
and so do I. Don't ever say that I don't. Don't ever act like you love it more than I do.
Even when SCW and the ARW thing was going on. And yes, I sided with ARW. There's no secret about that. I've said it. And I was open and honest about the whole thing. I still said I don't hate SCW. SCW is where JFW got their start in the independent relationships and everything. I have nothing against SCW. But I don't sit there and use the terms rinky dink like you do when you refer to my podcast.
You just call it. You call it like it is, don't you?
You can sit there. You can sit there like you could have a platform. Like, hey, come see Sentinel, this dumpster fire of a man. It's like, I mean, who's going to want to go see a dumpster fire if I promote it that way?
Because I'm not a dumpster fire man. If you want to be a true journalist, you'll say what I am.
And I'm not. And
now that I'm the supreme leader,
man.
Now that I've become, as commissioner, the supreme leader of SCW, I've proven myself to rise to the top. So how could you dispute it? You can't.
Hey,
you embarrass yourself.
Sentinel. When people try to give the truth, you cut them off, you run away from the ring. JFW tells it like it is, and you don't like it. Fans cheer for who we want. You get mad and say we have sold our soul to the devil. We don't have SCWs. We don't support it.
Right, you don't support it.
So whenever we give our opinion, you don't like it. You want to sit there and say we're the devil, we've turned our back. But who's been there long? Who's been going more than you? When you
bottom line is
when you were missing in action, who was there paying their money to see and support? I set the standard for that award. I have trained fans how to be fans.
When you didn't get the award and you started poisoning other people's minds. You've already been poisoning before that, and when you didn't get that award, that was the final straw.
I don't need an award to find who I am, and I don't need people sitting there patting me on the head you do.
Well, apparently you do.
I do.
Well, apparently you do, because you were really upset when you didn't get it.
I was really upset when I didn't get it. I'm not going to lie.
Well, you actually should have got it, Travis.
I definitely should have got it. I definitely should have gotten it.
You know who? I think there's another person who has undermining in this, and you know who it is, Travis? I'm going to call him out. I think it's Hip Pain himself has something to do with the Sentinel and all this stuff going on.
Wait, whoa.
You know,
what are you trying to infer there, pal?
I've been watching this company when it was Southland, CSW Southland, and at Legends. Now that goes way back.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm telling you.
So what's your point? You're old.
I believe you are right, Travis. Hip Pain is not who he used to be, and I think he's helping the Sentinel and some undermining stuff.
What undermined stuff?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is that even a word? I don't even know what you're saying.
Undermining. That means trying to.
You said undermined.
Something.
So okay, first get the marbles out of your mouth, Doris. Second
better what you have in your mouth.
Really? Okay, so this is the type of show this guy wants to have. This is the type of people you want to have.
I didn't say what was in your mouth.
I'm not going to go down in the mud with these two people that you want to have on your show, Travis. Okay.
All right.
Hey, this show is becoming an embarrassment.
Real quick. Let me disclaimer this. This is a live stream podcast. I have no control over who says what.
If you ever listen to JFW, there's some things that are kind of go adult on there. Apparently, you don't listen to their show.
Over who you allow on your show. Travis, you said it. And if you know that this is the type of person you're going to have on your show, you got to sleep at night with that choice, pal, not me.
Okay, let's say I open this up to having anyone call it. Everyone is welcome to give their opinion and have a conversation with me. If I sit there and I have everyone do it but Steve, you know what that makes me? It makes me a commissioner in FCW.
Yes, it does. Well, you got the job then, because that's what he does. And you know why? He became a commissioner, so us fans couldn't impeach him as a president.
Nope. I'm done. I'm out. Goodbye.
Oh, don't leave, Sentinel.
Don't leave.
Don't run away.
Goodbye.
Like everything else in your life, don't run away from it.
Oh, he left.